We talk so much about growing businesses, scaling businesses, but we don't talk enough about the kind of psychological struggles that we have as entrepreneurs. One of the biggest of which being the feelings that surround achievement and success and how to manage those feelings. And in this video, we're going to dive into that with a very important lesson that I've learned about how to think about what you want to achieve and whether it actually matters in the first place. In case you don't know me, my name is Olly Richards. I'm the founder of StoryLearning.com. It's a very large online education business that I've been running for over a decade. And during this time, I've had to struggle with the whole spectrum of feelings and emotions around entrepreneurship, money, business, success, all of these things. So let me take you back to this place. Now, this is a place that I've been obsessed with owning for about 20 years. It's a fancy penthouse apartment in Marylebone in central London. If you don't know where that is, it's not like ultra prime central London, but it's about as prime as it gets, and it's very, very expensive. Now, I don't know where this obsession with this penthouse came from. It's not this particular one, it's a fictional one, to be clear. But at some point, this fictional property became my internal barometer for success. I felt that I would only make it once I owned this Marylebone penthouse. I imagine it would look a little bit like this. You hear the balcony seems a bit small in this one, you know. If I want to be successful, I need a much larger terrace. But anyway, now, even if I could afford this penthouse, there's no way that buying a property like this would ever make any sense at all. For a start, I don't even live in London, so I'd only use this for a few days a month, and I'd probably spend most of my time anxious and miserable that the place was sitting empty while I was at home elsewhere. But to buy a property like this, which would probably cost about £5 million, I would need to actually earn £10 million before tax to have the money to actually be able to buy it. As an additional home, the stamp duty on buying this would be absolutely crazy. I calculated it would be about £661,000 of stamp duty just to buy it. Not only that, but maintenance, service charges, council tax, that would be insane. We're talking at least 20k a year. Something of this price is wildly overvalued by any measure. You're paying 2 or 3 times what it's actually worth just because it's in prime central London. And of course, buying something like that expensive with finance would be crazy. And did I mention that I wouldn't even live there? In other words, buying this thing would be the stupidest thing I could possibly do. About as smart as betting on a 3-legged racehorse. And yet, I want it. And I won't feel successful until I get it. You know, as irrational as it may be, I reckon one day I might just have to bite the bullet and buy that stupid apartment for the sole purpose of actually experiencing all the negativity that I know will come from owning it and convincing myself that I don't actually need it for once and for all. Then maybe I can get that daft idea out of my head. I had the exact same experience with a fancy car once. The only way to stop wanting the thing was to actually get it and realize I didn't enjoy owning it. Now, for a long time, thinking about this penthouse just reminded me of my own lack of success. To borrow from Dan Sullivan, I was permanently stuck in the gap, fixated on the chasm between where I was and this thing that I thought I wanted but didn't have. That's a recipe for misery. But one of the big pieces of personal development work that I've done in recent years has been to accept that if I let myself, I will permanently be in the gap. There is no level of success that will eliminate your desire for more stuff, or more success, more achievements, more accolades. There's nothing that will make you feel permanently content and accomplished. It cannot happen. Think about it. Where is the logical end point? Let's say that you get super rich. Will you eventually be trying to buy elections or one-up Jeff Bezos in the super yacht stakes? There is no end to this nonsense. And this is a problem that affects us as entrepreneurs because we are conditioned to think that we can simply create stuff, magic stuff up in this world. And the truth is that we can. But on the flip side, we all know people who live very, very humbly, but are extremely happy, demonstrably happy people. Now, since I left the desire-sodden streets of London and moved down to the depths of Hobbitshire, I am surrounded by people living very, very humbly. And I deeply respect them. I reckon they found the key to life. Perhaps they never lost it in the first place. Or perhaps it was us who lost it. Rockefeller said that if a man feels rich on $10 and has everything he desires, he really is rich. But I do also think that's a bit simplistic. See, I want that ludicrous Marylebone penthouse, I do. But what I've learned to do is to want it without needing it. Now, it's okay to want something. It's not smart to suppress emotions of any kind. It's okay to want it. But if you can also accept that you don't need it, then you become free to live peacefully with seemingly conflicting emotions. It's like Viktor Frankl's space between stimulus and response. It's not easy, but in this way of thinking lies growth and freedom. And this godforsaken Marylebone penthouse has ended up becoming a strange symbol of this calm and content state of mind that I've been working really, really hard to cultivate. The net result of all this is that it frees you up to focus on the here and now, to be happy in the present and enjoy the moment, whatever that brings. Because you can't have everything, but trust me, you don't want everything. But with all that said, if at some point in the future you happen to be strolling down Marylebone High Street and you look up and you spot me smoking a fat cigar from 6 floors up, give me a wave and I promise you I will wave back. Now, the way that this kind of desire for more, for success, for achievement often manifests in us as entrepreneurs is wanting to scale our businesses to new revenue levels. It's something that everyone wants, to scale their business to 6, 7, 8 figures. But there are very, very good reasons why you might not want to do that. And in this video over here, I break down exactly why you maybe shouldn't try to scale your business.